Hello, today I welcome you to my world of watches, and in this video I'm going to show you pretty much everything about this Charlie Perry initial open heart. Let's see what it's all about. So today I've got a very elegant open heart dress watch with a beautiful dial, the sapphire crystal not only on the dial but on the case back as well, automatic movement, and with all of that it comes under $500. This watch was sent to me by Charlie Perry for free and I get to keep it after this review, but they didn't pay me or influence this review in any way, so I'm giving you my honest thoughts. I stand behind every word that I say, and I will say that this is not just a simple Chinese produced dropship watch. I think that they put a lot of work into the timepieces that they make. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So these watches are actually assembled in France, and the company was created back in 2014 by two friends with the goal of offering sober and elegant watches at a fair price, as they say, and they have been successfully in the business for 8 years now, so I think that says a lot. Very beautiful watch that I can't wait to show you, so let's take a look at it. Firstly, I have to give credit to them for the packaging. It comes in a full-size box with an instructions manual, guarantee card, and they actually included a thank you letter for me, which was a very nice touch. Thus far, this hasn't happened to me. The box is made out of fox white leather and kind of a grainy cardboard texture, which not only looks good but also gives a sense of luxury. It also opens up very nicely and the watch is presented. Size-wise, it is very properly sized for a dress style watch. We got 40mm in diameter, 12.5mm thick, 20mm lug width, about 45.5mm lug to lug, and on a mesh bracelet it weighs around 106 grams. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist, and I have to say that 40mm is the most I would go for a dress watch. Anything bigger than that isn't really considered a dress watch. I do like how it sits, the curved lugs conform to the wrist. Another key point is the thickness. It is quite thick at 12.5mm, but then again, the middle of the case narrows down, and so it doesn't appear that thick on wrist. So in general, it could be a little thinner by my standards, but as you can see, they have a way to bypass that. Now, speaking about the bracelet, I went with the 20mm stainless steel mesh bracelet option, but you can choose from a lot of different variants, including blue, brown, or black leather. I have to admit that it is hard to mess up a mesh bracelet, and on this one it is exactly the same. Everything seems to be perfect. The clasp cover has a Charlie Perry logo on it, which I believe is a stork, which is a nice little touch. Doesn't plug hairs, the sides are nicely rounded. There are also quick release spring bars, which are, I guess, expected on a watch this price, and so I have nothing bad to say about this bracelet apart from that it is very comfortable. The case back was another shocker for me because it has a sapphire crystal. Most of the time companies don't bother putting sapphire on the case back as that part is really not visible. But again, that shows companies' attention to detail, and I think that it shows that Charlie Perry don't make watches just to make them. Anyway, the case back is screw on, has all the basic writings like water resistance, and it also states which production number your watch is. As you can see, mine is 2538th, and the case back reveals the Miyota Premium 827S movement, again with a custom rotor. Hacken and hand winding, 21,600 beats per hour movement, 21 joules with 42 hours of power reserve. The accuracy is stated to be between +20 and -40 seconds a day, which is reasonable, and when properly regulated, you can easily get a couple of seconds plus or minus a day from this movement. Now we come to the case. It is made out of 316L stainless steel, very highly polished all throughout, which is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it looks very nice, reflects the lights coming towards, but at the same time, it is a fingerprint magnet. It was hard filming this watch because you constantly get fingerprints all over it, and another thing is obviously scratches. They eventually come on any watch, but on this one, they will come in no time. I have a Guanchin GJ16034 with exactly the same finishing, and over the 2-year plus period, it collected quite a lot of dings and scratches. Nevertheless, most of the dress watches come highly polished as they have to have presence, so I don't think that it is a big deal. Another thing I want to mention is that the crown is narrowing down towards the case, so it looks kind of like it's pulled out from the front. And also they could apply the Charlie Perry logo to the crown as well, rather than leaving it blank. The dial is covered with a flat sapphire crystal which has an anti-reflective coating on it. Both the case back and the front sapphires were tested with a diamond selector tool and showed positive results. The anti-reflective coating is very neat as you will be able to read the watch properly in the sun, which some watch brands often don't think of. And now we come to the dial, which in my opinion is the star of the show, the part of the watch that you see the most. Again, there are a few options to choose from. There is a rich green dial and also a blue one, I believe. So this watch, having the 82.7S movement inside, it has a bigger subdial on the right, which is a sweeping seconds hand, the little subdial at the 9 o'clock, which is a 24-hour indicator, and also the open heart in between, revealing the balance wheel spinning away. Both of the subdials are raised from the dial and have a nice running track pattern on them, which makes them stand out. And I like the little cutout on the right subdial that reveals a jewel. Again, a very nice little touch. They went with a heated blue hand for the seconds, add some variety to the face. The hands for the hours and minutes are simple polished silver sword hands. And then there is Charlie logo applied up top and also the brand name. Now the dial is matte silver color and there is a tiny speckle of dust that I've noticed at 7 o'clock. Not very noticeable, but still something to note. The indices are also raised, they play nicely in the correct light, and lastly we got a chapter ring going from 5 to 60. The dial is very nice, the beauty of it is revealed mostly in the sun or a correct lighting. They definitely put a lot of work into this timepiece. You can see it from the little details that I've already mentioned, like the raised subdials or a cutout for a jewel for example. It has a very nice presence. So lastly, my final thoughts and recommendation. In my opinion, the price is a little bit steep, but it's definitely worth it. There are a lot of places you can see the efforts of the company to actually make a proper quality watch, from the movement selection to the materials used. Everything is done to actually present a qualitative timepiece. There are of course a couple of design choices that I would try to change, like the crown design, or maybe try to reduce the thickness a little bit, but in general, very minor things. So would I recommend it? I would say yes, and if you're interested, I'll leave the link in the description down below. And as always, if you like my video, please leave a like and also consider subscribing and hitting that little bell so you'll get notified when I upload a new video. And now thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.